Imagine a ship, not one that sails across oceans, but one that sails across the vast dark sea between stars. This isn't just any ship. It's a world in itself, a colossal vessel named Chrysalis. Its name is fitting, suggesting a transformation, a protected stage before something new and beautiful emerges. The Chrysalis is designed for one of the most ambitious journeys humankind has ever conceived. A one-way trip to Alpha Centauri, our closest neighboring star system. This isn't a mission for a handful of astronauts on a short-term exploration. It's a grand exodus, an ark designed to carry up to 2,400 people, a seed of humanity, across an unimaginable cosmic distance to plant new roots on a distant world. It represents a promise, a daring leap of faith into the unknown. The very idea of Chrysalis pushes the boundaries of what we think is possible. It's more than a machine. It's a self-contained society, a mobile civilization that will carry the hopes, dreams, and genetic heritage of our species. The people who board this ship will know they will never see Earth again, and neither will their children, nor their children's children. They are the first chapter in a story that will unfold over centuries, a story of survival, adaptation, and discovery. Their mission is not just to travel, but to endure, to maintain a functioning community while hurtling through the void. The ship must provide everything they need, from the air they breathe to the food they eat, for a journey that will outlast many lifetimes. Building such a vessel is a monumental task that would take decades, estimated at around 20 to 25 years of dedicated construction in the orbit of our home planet. At 36 miles long, it would be the largest structure ever built by human hands, a testament to global cooperation and scientific ingenuity. It would require technologies that we are only just beginning to develop, like powerful nuclear fusion reactors to propel it through space. The project is a blueprint for the future, a detailed plan that won an award for its thoroughness and innovative thinking. It forces us to ask big questions about our place in the universe and what it would truly take to become a multiplanetary species, venturing beyond the cradle of Earth. So why undertake such a perilous and lengthy voyage? The answer lies in our innate curiosity and our instinct for survival. Exploring is part of what makes us human, and ensuring the long-term continuation of our species is a powerful motivator. The Chrysalis is a response to that drive, a potential lifeline in case our homeworld faces an uncertain future. It's a plan born from the minds of engineers, scientists, and dreamers who looked up at the night sky and saw not just twinkling lights, but destinations. They envisioned a way to bridge the cosmic gap, to carry a flicker of human consciousness from one star to another, ensuring that our story continues, no matter what happens here on Earth. The journey aboard the Chrysalis is not for the impatient. The destination, Proxima Centauri b, is an Earth-sized planet orbiting the star closest to our Sun. While close in cosmic terms, it is still an immense 25 trillion miles away. To cover this distance, the ship will travel at a staggering speed, about 1/10 the speed of light. Yet even at this incredible velocity, the trip will last approximately 400 years. This means that the original crew, the brave pioneers who first step aboard, will live out their entire lives in the confines of the ship. They will be the keepers of the mission's beginning, tasked with establishing the culture and systems that will sustain future generations on the long road ahead. Think about what a 400-year timeline truly means. It's a span of time that covers roughly 16 generations. People will be born, grow up, fall in love, raise families, work, and grow old, all while their home is a vessel speeding through the silent emptiness of interstellar space. The concept of home will shift entirely. For these travelers, Earth will be a distant legend, a beautiful blue marble described only in history books and videos. Their reality will be the hum of the ship's engines, the artificially lit skies of the habitat, and the ever-present star-dusted blackness visible through reinforced viewports. Their lives will be inextricably linked to the health and function of their metal world. This multi-generational aspect is the core challenge of the Chrysalis mission. It's not just an engineering problem, it's a profound social and psychological one. How do you maintain a sense of purpose and hope across centuries? How do you ensure that knowledge, skills, and the mission's ultimate goal are passed down without being diluted or forgotten? The ship's designers have considered this deeply, proposing a society that is carefully managed and supported. The goal is to create a stable, resilient community where each generation understands its vital role in the long chain of humanity's journey. They are not just passengers, They are custodians of the future. The voyage itself will be a long and carefully orchestrated dance of physics. The first year will be dedicated to acceleration, with the ship's powerful fusion drives pushing it faster and faster until it reaches its cruising speed. For the next 398 years, it will coast through the interstellar medium, a silent arrow aimed at its target. The final year will be for deceleration, a slow and careful braking process to ensure the ship can safely enter orbit around its destination star. For the countless individuals who live and die during the long coasting phase, the journey will be their entire existence, a steady and unchanging pilgrimage toward a promised land they will never set foot on themselves. To protect its precious human cargo and provide for their every need, the Chrysalis is designed with an ingenious structure, much like a Russian nesting doll. It is made of multiple concentric, cylindrical layers, each with a specific purpose, all wrapped around a central core. This layered design is incredibly practical. The outermost shells act as a shield, absorbing the impact of micrometeoroids and protecting the delicate inner ecosystems from the harsh radiation of deep space. If one layer is breached or damaged, the layers within remain safe, ensuring the ship's integrity and the survival of its inhabitants. This redundancy is crucial for a mission where there is no possibility of a rescue or repair crew from home. At the very center of this massive 36-mile-long vessel lies the core. This is the command and control hub, but more importantly, it's the garage for the mission's final prize, the landing shuttles. These smaller craft are tucked away safely, waiting for the day, 4 centuries in the future, when they will ferry the final generation of travelers down to the surface of Proxima Centauri b. The core also houses all the long-range communication equipment, though its use will become more symbolic as the ship travels further from Earth, with messages taking years to cross the void. This central area is the brain and the final promise of the entire mission, protected by every other layer of the ship. Moving outward from the core, each layer serves a distinct function in this self-contained world. The layers are not just stacked, they form a cohesive, interconnected system that mimics the functions of a planet. Air, water, and heat are circulated between them, creating a balanced and livable environment. The entire habitat section of the ship would be in constant rotation, spinning gently to create artificial gravity. This is essential for the long-term health of the crew, preventing the muscle atrophy and bone density loss that astronauts experience in zero gravity. For the inhabitants of Chrysalis, gravity won't feel artificial at all. It will simply be a normal part of their everyday lives. The outermost layer is a massive warehouse and industrial shell. This is where the ship stores its vast reserves of raw materials, spare parts, and heavy equipment. To minimize the burden on the human population, this layer is envisioned to be largely managed by autonomous robots. These tireless machines would handle logistics, retrieve materials, and perform routine maintenance, ensuring the ship's structural health over the centuries. This design frees up the human inhabitants to focus on more complex tasks, community building, education, and the arts, the very things that make life meaningful. The nesting doll structure is, therefore, not just a feat of engineering, but a thoughtful design for a sustainable and thriving society. The first layer surrounding the core of the Chrysalis is perhaps the most critical for the survival of its inhabitants, the food production zone. This is the agricultural heart of the world ship, a vast, artificially lit ecosystem dedicated to feeding the 1,500 to 2,400 people on board for 400 years. This isn't just a collection of hydroponic trays, it's a complex and diverse biosphere. It would contain sprawling fields for growing staple crops like wheat, rice, and potatoes, providing the carbohydrates needed for energy. It would also house facilities for cultivating fungi, protein-rich insects, and even small livestock, ensuring a varied and nutritionally complete diet for generations of travelers. But this layer is designed to be more than just a farm. To maintain psychological well-being and preserve Earth's biodiversity, the designers included meticulously recreated natural biomes. Imagine walking through a simulated tropical forest, warm and humid, with the scent of damp earth and blooming flowers filling the air. Or picture a section that mimics a cool, quiet boreal forest, with pine trees and hardy shrubs. These preserved environments are not just for show. They are living gene banks, carrying a precious cargo of Earth's flora and fauna to a new star system. They would serve as a vital link to the homeworld, a place for relaxation, and a crucial component of the ship's oxygen-producing and water recycling systems. The entire food production system would operate as a closed-loop ecosystem. Nothing would go to waste. Water would be continuously purified and recycled, nutrients from organic waste would be returned to the soil as fertilizer, and the carbon dioxide exhaled by the crew would be used by the plants for photosynthesis, which in turn produces the oxygen everyone needs to breathe. This delicate balance is essential for long-term sustainability. The residents of Chrysalis would learn from a young age about their connection to this system, understanding that every resource is precious and that their survival depends on maintaining the health of their ship's living heart. Managing such a complex agricultural system over centuries would require a blend of human expertise and advanced technology. Botanists and farmers would oversee the crops and ecosystems, but they would be aided by sophisticated sensors and automated systems that monitor soil health, water levels, and plant growth. This combination ensures efficiency and resilience, allowing the system to adapt to any challenges that might arise during the long voyage. This green, vibrant layer, humming with life, is what transforms the Chrysalis from a sterile machine into a living, breathing world, capable of sustaining its human family all the way to Alpha Centauri. Just outside the agricultural layer is where the human drama of the Chrysalis mission would unfold. The next two layers are dedicated to the community and its individual members. The second layer is designed for communal spaces. You know, the places where society comes together. Here, you would find sprawling parks with green grass and recreational areas, offering a much-needed sense of open space. There would be schools where children learn about their unique heritage and their future destination, libraries filled with the entirety of human knowledge, and theaters for performances and gatherings. This layer is the social glue of the ship, designed to foster a strong sense of community and shared purpose among the travelers. This communal layer would also house the essential services that any town needs to function. A fully equipped hospital would be prepared to handle everything from routine checkups to complex surgeries, ensuring the health and well-being of the population. Its staff would be experts in the long-term effects of living in a contained environment, and their knowledge would be passed down through generations of medical professionals. Nearby, there would be workshops, laboratories, and centers for research, where residents could work on projects that improve life on the ship or prepare for the challenges of settling a new planet. These spaces are designed to keep minds sharp and engaged throughout the long journey. Moving one layer further out, we find the habitation zone. This is where the crew would live in their individual dwellings. These homes would be more than just sterile sleeping pods. They would be designed for comfort and privacy, providing a personal sanctuary for families. Each unit would be connected to the ship's life support systems, with efficient air circulation and heat exchangers to maintain a comfortable living environment. These private spaces are crucial for psychological health, giving people a place to call their own within the larger collective of the ship. It's here that families will share meals, children will do their homework, and individuals will find quiet moments of reflection. The final layer before the outer warehouse shell is the industrial zone. This is where the ship's self-sufficiency truly shines. This layer contains facilities for advanced recycling, turning all waste materials back into usable resources. It would have pharmaceutical labs capable of manufacturing medicines and manufacturing plants that can 3D print spare parts, tools, or even new structures as needed. This industrial heart ensures that the Chrysalis can maintain and repair itself over the centuries, independent of any support from Earth. Life on the ship is a carefully choreographed dance between the private, the communal, and the industrial, all working together to support the incredible journey. Embarking on a 400-year journey into the unknown requires more than just physical health and technical skill. It demands incredible psychological resilience. The pioneers selected for the Chrysalis mission would need to be prepared for a life of isolation, confinement, and immense responsibility. To ensure they are ready for this challenge, the project proposes a truly extraordinary training program. Before the ship ever leaves Earth's orbit, the first few generations of its inhabitants would live together in a specially constructed, isolated environment in Antarctica for 70 to 80 years. This long-term trial run would serve as a crucible, forging a community capable of surviving the rigors of deep space. Antarctica is, honestly, the perfect place for such a test. It is the most isolated, desolate, and extreme environment on our planet. Living there in a self-contained habitat would simulate many of the conditions of space travel. The crew would be cut off from the rest of the world, forced to rely on each other and the systems they have in place. They would have to manage their resources carefully, grow their own food, and maintain their habitat in the face of a harsh and unforgiving landscape. This experience would teach them not just how to survive, but how to thrive as a closed community, resolving conflicts and working together toward a common goal. This extended period of isolation would allow researchers to study the long-term psychological and social effects of living in such an environment. They could identify potential problems and develop solutions before the mission even begins. It would also allow the community to form its own unique culture, traditions, and governance structures, all tailored to the needs of a multi-generational voyage. The children born in this Antarctic habitat would know no other life. For them, living in a confined, self-sufficient world would be completely normal. They would be the first true children of the mission, perfectly adapted for the life that awaits them aboard the Chrysalis. By the time the Chrysalis is ready to launch, the community that boards it will not be a collection of strangers. They will be a tight-knit society that has already lived and worked together for decades. They will have proven their ability to endure hardship and isolation. The 70 to 80 years spent in the Antarctic crucible would weed out any psychological instabilities and strengthen the bonds between the crew members. This intense preparation is a recognition that the greatest challenge of interstellar travel may not be the technology, but the human element. It is a profound commitment to ensuring that the human spirit is as strong and reliable as the ship that carries it. 3 invisible but essential forces will keep the Chrysalis and its inhabitants alive and on course: artificial gravity, nuclear fusion, and artificial intelligence. The first, artificial gravity, is crucial for the health of everyone on board. Without it, the human body begins to deteriorate. To solve this, the cylindrical habitat sections of the Chrysalis are designed to rotate continuously. This rotation creates a centrifugal force that pushes everything outwards from the center, simulating the pull of gravity. For the people living inside, it would feel perfectly natural. They could walk, run, and lift objects just as they would on Earth, allowing their bodies to stay strong and healthy over the many decades of their lives. The second unseen force is the immense power needed to propel a 36-mile-long ship and sustain its internal world. The Chrysalis is designed to be powered by nuclear fusion reactors, a technology that harnesses the same energy process that makes the sun shine. These reactors would fuse light atoms together, releasing enormous amounts of energy with very little waste. This power source is theoretical for now, but it is the key to making interstellar travel possible. It would drive the ship's engines during acceleration and deceleration, and for the 400 years in between, it would provide all the electricity needed to run the lights, life support, farms, and computers, a miniature sun at the heart of the ship. The third and perhaps most complex force is artificial intelligence. Managing a world ship with thousands of people and countless interconnected systems over centuries is a task too vast for humans alone. An advanced AI would serve as the ship's co-pilot and administrator, a silent partner to the human leadership. This AI would monitor every aspect of the ship's function, from the air quality in the living quarters to the nutrient levels in the agricultural soil. It could predict maintenance needs, optimize resource allocation, and manage the complex logistics of the warehouse robots, ensuring the ship runs with perfect efficiency and resilience. This partnership between humans and AI would also be critical for governance and knowledge preservation. The AI would serve as the ship's memory, holding all the data from the mission and the complete library of human knowledge. It could provide guidance to the ship's leaders, offering unbiased, data-driven analysis to help them make the best decisions for the community's long-term survival. As generations pass, the AI would ensure that critical information is never lost and that the mission's original purpose remains clear. It would be the steady, unchanging mind that helps guide humanity's flickering candle across the dark expanse between the stars, a digital shepherd for a human flock. On a journey lasting 400 years, the composition of the population is not something that can be left to chance. The Chrysalis is designed to carry a maximum of 2,400 people, but the ideal, sustainable population for the long voyage is estimated to be around 1,500. Maintaining this delicate balance is essential for the ship's closed-loop life support system. Too many people would strain the food, water, and oxygen supplies, while too few could lead to a loss of genetic diversity and a shortage of skilled workers to run the ship. Therefore, one of the most sensitive and critical aspects of life aboard the Chrysalis would be planned births. This doesn't mean life will be devoid of romance or family bonds. People will still form relationships, fall in love, and want to have children. However, the decision to start a family would be a community-level concern, not just a personal one. The ship's governing council, aided by the analytical power of the AI, would carefully manage the birth rate. They would authorize a certain number of births each year to replace those who have passed away, keeping the population stable. This system would ensure that the ship's resources are never overwhelmed and that the community remains healthy and functional for the entire journey. Genetic health would also be a top priority. With a relatively small isolated population, there is a risk of genetic bottlenecks and hereditary diseases becoming more common over time. To prevent this, the ship would carry a vast genetic database from Earth. The AI would help monitor the population's genetic diversity and could provide guidance to prospective parents. This would ensure that the gene pool remains as wide and healthy as possible over the 16 generations of the voyage. It's a strange and clinical thought, but it is a necessary precaution to guarantee that the generation that finally reaches Proxima Centauri b is as healthy and robust as the one that left Earth. This level of planning might seem intrusive by today's standards, but for the inhabitants of Chrysalis, it would be a normal and accepted part of life. They would be raised with a deep understanding of their unique circumstances. Every person would know that their existence is part of a grand multi-generational project, and that the collective good must often come first. The planned nature of their society would be seen as a vital strategy for survival, a sacred duty to ensure that humanity's seed arrives at its destination healthy and ready to grow. It is the ultimate expression of thinking not just about oneself, but about the future of all who come after. After 400 years of silent travel, a new star will grow from a bright point of light into a brilliant sun. This is Alpha Centauri, the destination. The true prize, however, is a small planet orbiting one of its companion stars, Proxima Centauri. This planet, named Proxima Centauri b, is the reason for the entire epic journey. It is an Earth-sized world located in the habitable zone of its star, a region where conditions might be just right for liquid water to exist on its surface. Liquid water is the key ingredient for life as we know it, making this planet one of the most tantalizing prospects for a new human home. The arrival will be a moment of awe and trepidation that no generation has experienced since the ship first launched. The final generation of travelers, born and raised with the sole purpose of reaching this world, will be the first to see it up close. Using the ship's powerful telescopes, they will study its atmosphere, map its continents and oceans, and search for any signs of life. The Chrysalis will carefully enter a stable orbit, becoming a man-made moon for this new world. After centuries of being a ship, it will transform into a space station, an orbital base from which the first explorers will descend to the surface in the landing shuttles stored safely in the core. Stepping onto the surface of Proxima Centauri b will be a moment that will redefine human history. For the first time, humans will stand on a planet outside their home solar system. They will feel the pull of a new gravity, breathe the air of a new world, and gaze up at an alien sky. Their task will be immense: to build the first settlement, to begin farming the new soil, and to establish a permanent foothold for humanity among the stars. The Chrysalis, their ancestral home, will remain in orbit above them, a constant reminder of the incredible journey that brought them there, and a vital resource hub for the fledgling colony. While the Chrysalis is still just a hypothetical project, a dream on a designer's drawing board, its importance is very real. Imagining and planning such missions pushes us to develop new technologies and to think deeply about our future. It inspires us to look beyond our immediate problems and consider our place in the cosmos. The story of Chrysalis is a story of hope, a testament to human ingenuity and our unyielding desire to explore. It reminds us that even across the unimaginable distances of space and time, the human spirit of discovery endures, always reaching for the next frontier, always dreaming of the next home.